Hey guys, in this video we're going to go over connecting your meta page into Rotor. That way you can automatically have your leads be created upon someone filling out a meta native form. Keep in mind this isn't working yet for any DMs. This is just more for if you're running ads and you have them fill out the forms native to Meta, then they'll automatically sync over, and it also allows us to pull in all your spend data automatically as well. Fortunate enough to be able to do this with the help of one of our customers who's been kind enough to allow us to kind of do two birds with one stone, connect it for him, and then also record this video. So there is another video about integrations, but so you can watch that, but we're going to go through the full setup today. You access this page through your settings, which you can see in the bottom left on your desktop if you are an admin, and then you would come to Meta and start adding a connection. If you already have a page connected, you could actually still add another page as well. Whereas if you just have multiple campaigns tied to the same page, then that wouldn't be necessary. They would all pull in already. Well, let's just add this. First, you're going to want to make sure you're signed in to your Meta Business Suite for this to work. So right now I'm signed in as him. And then you select whatever page that you're actually running the ads from. And then you'll be able to select, again, the page that you're going to connect into Rotor. Sometimes I've had some people experience where they'd select it or they wouldn't be able to select it, but they can still hit continue. If it allows you to continue, just do so. Select the page where the ad's connected, the ad account. And that's another one too, where maybe if there's not an ad account, I think there may be something going on where you can still connect the ads, but it may not be pulling in the spend correctly. So you may just want to verify with whoever's running your ads, or if you're running them, just kind of check to make sure your ad account is created correctly. And then once you select all the appropriate pages and accounts, and then you'd go down and scroll down to hit accept, hit save. It'll give it a second to think, but it's going to redirect you back into Rotor in just a moment. Perfect. And you say, got it. Awesome. And then at this point, the last thing you have to do is just select the page. Perfect. Now it is connected. So a good way to test this is primarily through this link. So if I were to open this up, it would then allow me to select the different pages. So I want to test this page, and I want to then see, I can also test different types of forms to make sure they're coming in correctly. So I think actually for this purpose, I'll just test this, and let's just do create lead. Okay, let's see, I think that worked. Let me just go back into Rotor to check. Boom, yeah, right, there you go. So you can test, when you test it and you see kind of a dummy data lead, that means it worked. And so now you're connected. Um, Another thing to note, so if I were to go in here, and there it is, it's going to pull in the data from the form itself. It will automatically tag those leads coming from meta ads by default. And then what's really nice is it also add a tag automatically of the form name. So if we go back to the testing, you can see that I sent a lead from this form. So that's a good way to also track. So that way, if you're doing different forms for different purposes, say maybe this form in particular has a call to action of like giving them or like an offer of like $100 off, whereas this one more so has an offer of like a free, I don't know, some sort of free service or like 50% off. Anyways, and you want to be able to send different messages, automated messages, depending on where they're coming from, that is how you would be able to track that, is through the tags. So I could then do certain automations based off of when tag is added, and then do a different automation um, for a different form. That way I can have better control over what kind of messages the leads are receiving, because they're going to be opting into different, be interested in different offerings. So that's pretty common for if, maybe on one campaign or like one ad account, you're running one ad for Christmas lights and one ad for pressure washing. You want to be able to distinguish those. So that's how you do that. Um, if you ever want to change a little bit on like the sources, because like I said, it defaults to Meta, then on integrations, you can choose the lead source, which these are pulling from your default ones set up in your customization. And then I could also add tags. So if I know I want to have all leads that come in, if I want to maybe add a tag of, say, maybe I'm running ads, just testing them for this month only. Maybe if I wanted to say February, it was like February, um, March, I can add that as a tag, which when I hit save, all the submissions, all the leads that come in from that meta will also have this tag added. So hopefully that helps. I know there are cases where it's not as easy as this, so our team is happy to help if you bump into any questions here. The other thing that'd be good to go over in this video is how the analytics for Meta work. So, for example, now that you have it connected, and as long as you've connected um, to Meta recently, then these analytics will be available to you. So you just go to your analytics page, go to Meta, and then it's not going to pull anything now because we just barely connected it. But then this is where you'd be able to see all your metadata tied to the campaign and the ad account that's connected. So one of the first things you want to do to make sure that the conversions in your return on ad spend is getting calculated correctly is you're going to want to set your conversion criteria. So this right now is set up to recognize when lead stages enter a given stage. When leads enter a given stage, then it'll count as converted. So in this case, I want to start measuring or counting people as converted if they ever enter sold. And just so you can visualize that, these are the stages, and this is the one that's given to you by default, but you could obviously change this up, and that's kind of explained in another video. You'll notice that the lead was moved into text one by default. So if that was a real person, and because this customer has a number connected, that person would have received a message automatically. And we'll be going over automations and how to edit that in another video. But that's why that's now in text one. Oh, but I guess to get back to where I was going at is in Meta now, it will, anytime someone is moved into that sold category, then it will count as converted. So at all time, there's been one person in there, but I want to filter to this month, which there hasn't been anyone moved into there this month. So hope that helps. I mean, there's nothing really to show here yet, just because we just barely connected it. There's only been one lead, which technically is a test lead. But then you'll be able to see, as you start spending, you'll be able to see your campaign data here. And I'll probably attach the screenshots in an article for you to see it. But this is how you can start tracking your ROI on all your ads. So reach out if you have any questions, but this hopefully gives you a better frame of reference how to connect your meta. Thanks.